Dopamine is an important chemical messenger in the brain that has many important functions. When released in large amounts, it creates feelings of pleasure and reward, which encourages you to repeat a specific behavior. In contrast, low levels of dopamine are linked with reduced motivation and decreased enthusiasm for activities that most people would be excited about. So in this video, I'm looking at 4 ways to increase your dopamine levels naturally and legally. Number 1, eat velvet beans. Considering the topic of this channel, I thought we'd start with a nutrition recommendation. Velvet beans, also known as mucuna pruriens, naturally contain high levels of L-dopa, which is a precursor molecule to dopamine. Now, studies show that eating these beans may help raise dopamine levels naturally, especially in people with Parkinson's disease, a movement disorder caused by low dopamine levels. One small study in those with Parkinson's disease found that consuming 250 grams of cooked velvet beans significantly raised dopamine levels and reduced Parkinson's symptoms 1 to 2 hours after the meal. Similarly, several studies on mucuna pruriens supplements found that they may be even more effective and longer lasting than traditional Parkinson's medications, as well as have fewer side effects. Even though these foods are natural sources of L-dopa, you should speak to your doctor first before you make any major diet changes or try any new supplements. Number 2, get enough sunlight. It's well known that periods of low sunshine exposure can decrease mood-boosting neurotransmitters like dopamine, and that sunlight exposure can increase them. One study in 68 healthy adults found that those who received the most sunlight exposure in the previous 30 days had the highest density of dopamine receptors in the reward and movement regions of the brain. And while sun exposure can increase dopamine levels, it's important to adhere to safety guidelines because sun exposure can obviously be dangerous and also addictive. This study in compulsive tanners who visited tanning beds at least 2 times per week for 1 year found that tanning sessions led to significant boosts in dopamine levels and a desire to repeat the behavior. Number 3, exercise often. Exercise is recommended for boosting endorphin levels and improving mood. So that can be anything that gets your body moving or your heart rate up. For example, one 3-month study found that performing 1 hour of yoga 6 days per week significantly increased dopamine levels. Frequent aerobic exercise also has been shown to benefit people with Parkinson's disease, which is of course a disease affected by low dopamine levels in the brain. Number 4, listen to music. Several brain imaging studies have found that listening to music increases activity in the reward and pleasure areas of the brain, which are rich with dopamine receptors. This small study investigating the effects of music on dopamine found a 9% increase in brain dopamine levels when people listened to instrumental songs that gave them chills. And this makes sense. I mean, it's the reason music can pick up our mood so quickly. Okay, so let's recap. Dopamine is an important brain chemical that influences your mood and feelings of reward and motivation. Levels are generally regulated by the body, but there are some things you can do to naturally increase them in a healthy and legal way. Exercising regularly, meditating and yoga, listening to music, getting enough sleep, and spending some time in the sun can all increase your dopamine levels. For people with dopamine deficiency diseases, such as Parkinson's disease, then eating sources of L-dopa can help to restore those dopamine levels. So pretty interesting stuff. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Healthline's Authority Nutrition YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button below this video.